when the sword was created, it was so barbaric and created such carnage and damage and the horrible things that it would do when armies clashed, that it was generally assumed and thought that it was so horrible that it would end all wars, that once you had the sword, it would just end up that there would be no more warfare. Well, how exactly did that work out? So fast forward, decade after decade, century after century, inventions come and they revolutionize the way we live, the way we do battle, the way we communicate with each other, and whether it was intended, the invention, whether it was intended for noble purposes or flat out destructive purposes, we can see that throughout human history, those inventions, even the ones that are intended for good, can be twisted and can be manipulated and ultimately end up doing incredible damage in the hands of ill-doers, right? So, fast forward to today. I just saw an article and watched a video on a new tool that Google has launched, and it's called Google Duplex. And I want to play for you just a smidgen of the video clip from when Google launched it at their big convention. But before I do, I need to tell you what it is. It's pretty incredible, and I believe it to be one of those tools that can be used for awesome things and can probably be twisted into destroying people's lives. And what is this tool? It's Google Duplex, like I said before. But what it does, it's an artificial intelligence that actually is a manager for your life, like an assistant. And it can autonomously have conversations on your behalf. Yes, conversations. Check this video clip out. This is from their convention. The left side of the screen is Google's artificial intelligence, and the right side is an actual real life person who doesn't even know they're being talked to by a robot.
So how can I help you? Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd. Sure, give me 1 second. Sure, what time are you looking for around? At 12 p.m.
Mind blown. This technology is right now alive and working today. Now, it's crazy to think that we've come so far, so fast in terms of technological advances. I mean, when I was a kid, it was insane if your family could own a computer at all, like a personal computer to be in your house. It was not common unless you had a lot of money. And fortunately for me, my dad was doing really well and the family was doing well financially. And we had one of those Commodore 64s, right? You guys remember that? Or for those of you who might have been a few years even before, the TRS-80. And so the idea that we've gone from an actual personal computer in our home to carrying one around in our palm in the form of a smartphone in a very relative short time blows my mind. Now, Google Duplex. I can honestly see that one side of me says, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be great. It's going to solve so many problems that I have in terms of time management and doling out the things of the day that you don't really want to deal with but have to get done. That's one side of me. Now the other side of me goes, run away. This will end up badly, and it's one of those things where we know where we're going as a society. Tech is here. It's not going away. I mean, the reality is you're watching this video on YouTube. That ought to tell you something, that even though we are a family that's striving to learn homesteading and be that self-reliant family, we still are, in the tech world. We are part of it, and it only continues to grow. I mean, every time you turn around, there's some new whiz-bang gizmo or some kind of crazy application or program that revolutionizes everything, right? So to try to stick our heads in the sand like an ostrich and just say that, I won't go that far, or I won't go that far. I don't know how far we'll go, because it seems like it's that analogy of the frog in the water, that basically a frog will sit in cool water in a pot, and if you just heat it up very, very slowly, the frog won't jump out. It'll stay there and get boiled. And I kind of have a feeling that that's how it is with a lot of this technology. We get it in drips and drabs, and all of a sudden, before you know it, your life is consumed with some new tech or whiz-bang gizmo, and we can't live without it. I mean, okay, just think of this. Here's a perfect example. Have you ever been around any teenagers in a social setting these days, like in the past X, give it a year or whatever? I generally, unless the kids are really, really great and the parents are really great, generally the kids are focused on their cell phone, and that's all they do. Even when they're sitting around each other, it's crazy. We actually went to a restaurant a little bit ago, and there were 8 25-year-old and younger-ish people, and they were sitting together at the table, and they all were sitting there texting or playing games or whatever it was that they do. And so tech is here to stay. Now you've got this new generation of people that are coming up that they've always had cell phones. They've always had a computer in their hands, and now it's on their wrist, and now it's in their glasses, and it's only a matter of time until those things are implemented physically to your body. Tech is not going to stop. And so now you've got this creepy thing of Google Duplex, where AI is actually running a part of your life. Now, I don't know how they set up their parameters, and I'm sure that you can put in stop gaps to say, don't do this, don't do that. However, think about it like this, guys. Most people don't like to think of the reality that they're being monitored at all times. But if you read the terms of service, the TOS, like when you turn on your TV for the first time, if you've got a smart TV, you're literally saying it's okay that the TV has a camera and a microphone in it, and it can actually turn on and use that data. Now, some TVs don't have the camera, but generally most of them have the microphone. Now, what's crazy is we'll have conversations about needing to get something from, the farm store. And no computers are on or anything like that, but you got your phones in the room, you got your TV, and then doggone it, if it's not the first thing that when you log in your computer and there's ads for exactly that item that you're looking for, that's no coincidence, people. They're actually doing it, and they're not even trying to hide it anymore. They put it right in the terms of service that you can't use this item, whether it's a phone or a TV or your computer, unless you're giving them access to your conversation so it can listen and market to you, target market. Now, in a lot of ways, the tech side of me says, boy, that's cool, it's convenient. But then the other side of me that's bigger says, whoa, they are mining far too much data, and they know way too much about me that makes me uncomfortable. And now, with Google Duplex, we're not only saying, have at it, we're saying, do it for me. And I got to tell you, I'm not comfortable with the way that this is going. And I don't know, I don't think there is a slowing down. I think that at some point, we're all, you, me, everybody, and I do want to hear your comments down below, because this is a subject that you hear me talk about from time to time, probably every few months, because there's some new tech out there that goes, wow, what am I going to do with this? And then also, should I just stop? I mean, at what point do you say hit the brakes? So comments down below. But the real question is, how far do you let it go in your life? I mean, if we can see this pattern where we're turning over more and more control of our lives to virtual things, and then you got to remember there's someone or some people or some ideology or some push or some agenda behind the tech. There's people there that are they're guiding society, and they're with influence of this kind of stuff. They're guiding and directing and manipulating minds by using this technology. And now, so for me, I don't know how much further I'm going to go. The more I see this stuff, the less I think it's cool, and the more I think it's creepy, and the more I want to get to that simple life, where, you use a phone for a phone. If I want to call somebody, I'll pick up the phone and call them. If somebody wants to talk to me, they can call me. Now, email, that's email. It's kind of like that. But then you have texting. Well, what's next? I mean, it's coming. It's coming, and it's coming faster than makes me comfortable. So I guess all that to say that I really wanted to share with you this technology and thinking through where we're going, because I think that all too often we just adopt whatever is the new whiz-bang thing without actually thinking about, should I? That's the big question. The tech is coming. The tech is here, and it's not going to stop coming. The real question I think we have to answer is, should I? At what point do I say, no, I'm not going to go here? And so we're wrestling with it. I'll be honest, we are wrestling with that question because we've got, a lot of kids. We've got 7 children. And I'll even say this. Even when my eldest son is home, I love him to death, but he's got his face buried in his phone a lot of the time. And he didn't grow up with a phone in his hand. That's new. Forget about it. Tech is coming. Tech is here. At what point do you say, I'm checking out? And then what are those ramifications? What happens if you say, okay, I am not going to take phone calls? Let's go back a few years. I'm not carrying a cell phone. I'm not going to do that. No way. If somebody wants to call me, they can call me on the home phone, or they can write a letter. Times change, don't they? Now it's pretty much everybody has a smartphone in their pocket. So I don't know where I feel on the comfort zone with all this, but I feel much more. I'm getting all blah, blah, blah. Much more. That's not a real phrase. I'm many times more comfortable with simplifying over making more tech become my master, because don't forget about that. Once you turn over a chunk of your life to something else, it becomes your master. Eesh. There you have it. There's the thought of the day. Hopefully it doesn't creep you out too bad, but it's coming. I'm Brad with the Big Family Homestead. You guys have an amazing day.